everyone, my name is Mayisha Tazreen, and for my cyberpsychology assignment, How Technology Affects Human Behavior, I've chosen the topic From Textbooks to Screen, the impact on attention and memory. To begin with, today I want to take you on a journey from textbooks to screen, a transition we've all experienced, in one way or the other. With the rise of digital tools like ebooks, online lecture slides, educational videos, and learning platforms, the way we study and absorb knowledge has changed dramatically. On the surface, these tools offer convenience, accessibility, and personalization. But as we dig deeper, we begin to see their impact on two very important aspects of learning: attention and memory. As we shift from flipping pages to swiping screens, what are we gaining and what might we be losing? Personal experience, this shift became especially noticeable during the COVID-19 pandemic and even more so after starting university. Like many of you, I went from studying with physical textbooks to relying almost entirely on digital platforms. And while the switch initially felt modern and efficient, I soon noticed how easily my attention wavered, one moment reading, the next checking a notification or flipping to a different tab. Even when I tried to stay focused, the depth of my learning seemed affected. This isn't something that I only experienced, but my classmates also echoed the same feelings. That's why this topic matters to me both personally and academically. I wanted to understand how technology is influencing our ability to focus and remember. Moving to literature review, research shows that technology brings both benefits and drawbacks to learning in terms of cognitive and behavioral changes, especially related to attention span and memory retention. The evidence is quite revealing. On the positive side, interactive tools like digital highlights, search functions, and adaptive learning features can actually improve focus if the design is thoughtful and intentional. Personalized learning experiences help students stay engaged longer. Moreover, when it comes to memory, the use of multimedia videos, visuals, and animations can boost retention. And the ability to revisit materials on demand is a clear advantage for long-term learning. However, there are clear downsides as well. Let's talk about attention first. One major issue is distraction. Hyperlinks, pop-up ads, and endless notifications pull us away from what we are trying to concentrate on. Studies like one by Rosen et al. 2013 show that even short interruptions can seriously affect learning quality. Then there's multitasking, juggling tabs, apps, chats, and assignments all at once. Ofer et al. 2009 found that media multitaskers tend to perform worse in tasks requiring focused attention. And how we read on screens matter as well. Many of us skim digital text instead of reading a deeply habit-shaped by fast-paced media consumption. Mengan et al. 2013 suggests that skimming behavior leads to shallow understanding. Now moving to memory. When we scroll quickly through content or bounce from one source to another, we often engage in surface-level encoding, storing information in a way that's harder to retrieve later. Delgado et al. 2018 connect this to reduced reading comprehension. Adding to that, cognitive overload caused by poorly designed learning platforms with too many videos, pop-ups, and functions crammed together, and it's no surprise retention suffers. Now let's take a closer look at the key factors that influence these changes in attention and memory. First, digital design features such as hyperlinks, pop-up notifications, scrolling interfaces, and embedded videos can interrupt reading flow and increase cognitive load. These seemingly helpful elements often fragment our focus, drawing attention away from deep, meaningful engagement with the content. Second, media consumption pattern plays a role. Constant multitasking with phones, social media, or switching between tabs creates a fragmented attention span. Our brains become accustomed to rapid shifts, which undermines our ability to concentrate on one task for an extended period of time. Lastly, societal norms and expectations around being always connected can add pressure to respond instantly. This culture of digital urgency means that students often feel the need to be online and responsive at all times, which ultimately reduces the mental bandwidth available for deep learning and memory retention. These factors, technology design, user habits, and social pressures combine to shape how we learn in the digital age, highlighting the importance of mindful usage and intentional learning design. Two psychological theories that help us understand what's going on here are first, cognitive load theory. This tells us that our working memory can only handle so much at once. When digital materials bombard us with too much information, especially in distracting formats, it adds extraneous load which interferes with learning. In my own experience, switching between tabs, videos, PDFs, and lecture slides feels like juggling too many balls at once. Eventually, something drops usually my focus. Secondly comes self-determination theory by Ryan and Deci 2020 emphasizes the role of autonomy in motivation. Digital learning gives us the autonomy, letting us choose when, where, and how to study, but that freedom is a double-edged sword. I often find myself taking breaks that turn into endless scrolling. Too much freedom without structure can quickly turn into distraction, hurting both attention and memory. So what are the solutions to it? Here are a few strategies that I would recommend. At first, use time management tools like Pomodoro technique or apps that block distractions. Short, focused intervals can do wonders for your attention. Secondly, print key reading materials when possible, especially before exams. Research shows that printed materials support deeper comprehension. Thirdly, take structured notes, ideally by hand. Writing helps reinforce memory in a way that typing doesn't because it's a part of our muscle memory. Last but not the least, limit multitasking. Close all the unnecessary tabs, silence your notifications, and dedicate your full attention to one task at a time. As we stand at the intersection between textbooks and screens, it's clear that digital learning is no longer just an option, it's the new norm. But what we rarely consider is that this shift isn't just changing what we learn, but how we learn, and more importantly, how we think. The influence of technology on attention and memory isn't always loud or obvious. It often creeps in quietly through constant notifications, the pressure to multitask, or the speed at which we're expected to consume and respond to information. I found that it's incredibly easy to mistake convenience for effectiveness. Watching a quick video or skimming through digital notes might feel productive in the moment, but often the depth of understanding is sacrificed. Over time, this can subtly erode our ability to engage in slow, focused thinking, which is essential for true comprehension and long-term memory. But this isn't just a critique of technology. In fact, I believe tools can be powerful allies if we know how to use them wisely. The challenge is not the presence of technology, but the absence of boundaries. We need to take responsibility for creating those boundaries ourselves. That could mean setting structured routines, being selective about when and how we consume content, or even stepping away from screen when we need mental clarity. In many ways, this transition has forced us to confront our cognitive habits. Are we passive consumers of information, or are we actively shaping how we learn? Are we adapting technology to fit our needs, or are we allowing it to shape our behaviors without questioning it? Personally, reflecting on these questions has changed the way I approach learning. I've started to pay more attention to when I feel more focused, how long I can stay present, and what helps me truly retain information. It's not perfect, but it's intentional. Ultimately, the way forward lies in balance. Digital learning is here to stay, but our attention and memory are still very much human. If we want to thrive in this digital age, we must learn to protect and train those cognitive muscles, just as deliberately as we adopt to new tools. Because in the end, mastering technology isn't just about knowing how to use it. It's about understanding how it uses us. And these are the references that I've used. Thank you for listening to my presentation.